When you're cold or need something to do, cast on a project or see an old one through. Grab a beer, take a seat, frog with a friend or two. Fuck this knit. Fuck this knit. Fuck it.
Hi, and welcome
Hi.
to Fuck This Knit, the podcast where we talk about knitting and we swear a lot.
Yay.
Yeah! We are your hostesses for this evening. We'll go with the hostess with the mostest trips to Disney.
That's me, for sure. Times
Oh,
a billion.
Oh, yeah. Hands
Did you
down.
know I've been to every Disney theme park in the world, except for Hong Kong, because that just opened last summer, and you gotta give me some time. Fun
Awesome.
facts.
Even the one in France?
Yes.
Ooh.
Even the one in Japan.
I was about to say
Yes.
Tokyo has one.
Even the
doesn't it?
one in... well, actually, I just misspoke. I've been to the one in Hong Kong. I haven't been to the one in Shanghai.
Ah.
Snap! Anywho, I am Emily, and I am drinking this chocolate oatmeal porter, which Amber tasted earlier, and it's really a shame that we weren't recording it. She hates chocolate. She did not know it was chocolate flavored. It was amusing. It's from Blue Pants Brewery in Madison, Alabama, which I had not heard of or seen before, but we picked it up when we were in Nashville a couple weeks ago. It's tasty. I love chocolate, so I find it very delicious.
Oh, no. I mean, it sounds good to me.
You should taste it. Here.
Oh, ooh, yay.
And we're moving on to the hostess with the mostest yarn.
Oh, is that actually me?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
you.
yeah. Fuck you both. All right, so my name is Erin, and I am drinking a Ballast Point Brewing Company Victory at Sea, which is a delightful porter with coffee and vanilla.
Which I bought, but I bought before we knew that they gave a shit ton of money to Paul Ryan. So whatever, we should drink it. It's beer.
And technically, I actually did look into that. It wasn't technically them. It was
Was
their
it like their
parent company, Constellation.
Oh, that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
then.
Constellation parent company of Ballast Point gave to a pack, $25,000 to a pack that supported Paul Ryan. Something. But it was the parent company, not Ballast Point, and I feel kind of bad for Ballast Point because they brew some really good stuff.
My Facebook, they're like getting some real bad publicity on that.
Yeah, the spokesperson statement from that was actually, I felt really bad for them because they're like, we can't decide what they give money to. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but...
Yeah.
Mixed feelings.
And I am the hostess with the mostest kids.
Yeah, that's what I was just
Very
thinking, too.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have one.
At one. Yeah. It's the most.
It's 100% more than us.
Yeah. And I am Amber, and tonight I am drinking Goodwood Hemp Goza. It's a local beer made here in our city.
And brewed with Kentucky hemp.
And brewed with Kentucky hemp.
And I'm
let's
going
just
to
say,
the grocery store on the way home to buy my own.
It is
Have
pretty
you been
darn,
to their
darn delicious.
tap room?
Yeah, we actually...
I haven't.
They
I
had
like
their
nice.
engagement party
Yeah.
there.
Oh.
When it was still BBC.
When it was still technically BBC.
It was
tap room.
the BBC production brewery. But yeah, they went their own way, which is actually better for them. And now they are Goodwood, and they make super tasty stuff. And unfortunately, they got rid of like my favorite beer from them, from their BBC days, which was the Nut Brown Ale. They no longer have that, but hey,
They
this
have
is
the
pretty
walnut
good.
brown.
It's not the same. It's still good. It's not the same. Yes.
But
so
no, I'm
I
really
have-
enjoying that hemp goza, and I'm going to definitely have to buy some of my own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's tasty.
Legit.
Okay.
Oh, I should have. That's what I meant to bring. Is this? I have this new goza brewed with coriander and hibiscus.
Yeah.
the
You were telling me
Ruby's
about
I
that.
just
Tears.
fucking love hibiscus.
I do
Hibiscus
fucking
is
love
tasty.
hibiscus.
I hate it.
What?
Yep. Tastes like flowers.
I like flowers.
Yeah, it does.
I love lavender and rose.
Nope.
Those are
I
like
hate both of those things too.
my
I
two
love
favorite
lavender.
flavors.
I don't know that I've really tried. Well, the few rose things I've tried I really like, but my favorite's hibiscus, hands down.
You're just weird. There's always one in the bunch, right?
Says the one who doesn't like chocolate.
There's always one in the bunch, right?
I'm not weird at all. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
The news. So there is a Kickstarter that people might be interested in.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's called The Knit Show with Vicky Howell. She did like the nitty gritty
Yeah,
on
so Nitty Gritty
HGTV.
was awesome back in the day.
And it's every donation you get a pattern. So even if you just give $1, you get like a hat pattern or something. So that's kind of neat. There's typical Kickstarter stuff on there, like
And am I
tote
correct in
bags and
thinking
stuff.
that it's the series is going to premiere on YouTube?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, it is going to be.
Because I saw where she was doing this because she wanted to provide a living wage for everyone involved, like cast and crew, which is amazing.
It's super cool, and it's cool because it will be free for you to watch. So if that
was the
sounds
other
like
part.
something you're interested in, go check it out on Kickstarter. Other news, which is exciting. We have our first ever giveaway on the podcast.
I'm so fucking excited about this.
Yeah. So you guys are awesome, and we
love you.
Yeah, and we love you, and we want to give you sweet stuff for being cool.
Sweet nothing.
So what I have here to give you guys is a set of awesome stitch markers. They are Sassy Stitch Markers by A Needle Runs Through It, and she is on Etsy. Go to A Needle Runs Through It .etsy.com to find her shop, and she makes accessories for cross stitch and knitting, including needle minders and stitch markers. She's got some cute bags and stuff, all sorts of things.
I'm going to order my own set of these stitch markers when I get home,
So
because they are amazing.
They
and I
are
need them.
super amazing. They have swears on them, so let me read a couple of them. There's one that says, "Bitch please, cast off motherfucker, slip this bitch,
Yeah, I like that one.
get your shit together, zero fucks given." There's also a unicorn and a little
Middle
finger
finger.
given the bird. And then the reason that we have them, there's one that says "fuck this knit," which is great. It actually kind of looks like our logo. It's like
Which
the
is
same
just
font.
serendipitous.
It is just serendipitous. I sent the shop a message like, "Hey, your stitch marker kind of looks like our logo," and I totally did not know that that was a thing that you had made, so it's just a coincidence. And she was like, "Sweet, I will send you a set to give away, so thank you very much for that. That's rad." And you can win them by going to our website, fuckthisknit.com, and clicking on the show notes for this episode, which is episode 4, and there will be instructions for how you can win these for yourself.
So that was our news.
News.
Guys
Okay.
are so weird.
Yep. So finished objects. Anyone have any finished objects they want to talk about?
I have one this month.
Yay!
Ooh, I finally finished our worm. Like, I think the night that we
Worm.
recorded the last podcast, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, except it doesn't fit.
Oh, sad.
It is very, very sad. It's like maybe 5 stitches too short.
Oh, so close.
actually-
Does it give you a headache?
Yep,
Oh,
I can
that's
get
the
it on
worst.
my head, but I can't keep it on there for very long. And so actually I think I'm going to just rip it out and make it a hitchhiker now, because
Go for it.
the needles literally broke as I was trying to cast off. Like that, it did not want to be that hat. I had so many problems making it that hat. I made it that hat. I've taken pictures to prove I've made it that hat, and now I'm going to rip that shit out and make it a fucking hitchhiker because that's
42.
what it wants to do. Because the colorway is 42. I should have just gone hitchhiker
It's
to
cool
begin
yarn,
with.
yeah.
And it's amazing yarn, and I want to wear it and wear it with happiness. So,
Well, and also there's no point in keeping around an item that you're never gonna wear.
I mean, I literally can't. So, yeah, I'm going to rip that shit out eventually. Someday.
Emily, do you have anything?
I have 2 things. They're big things. I have
yeah.
this wrap, the Macari
Macari.
wrap by Amba O'Brien in 3 colors of Malabrigo, and it is super soft and beautiful, and I am very impressed with myself for
I'm
it.
very envious because Malabrigo.
Yes, I like it. It's like a giant fingering weight shawl, so it's really drapey and like light and nice and easy to wear. I might, if I don't finish the taboo knit along, I might enter it in the state fair in the lace shawl category because it's got some lace.
Well, that and there might be another taboo going in there.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
I've got that.
Looks good.
Thanks. And then I also have my sweater.
So you had enough yarn to finish the pockets?
I did, yes. I had like the perfect amount of yarn. I just had a couple like scraps left over from balls.
Balls.
Yeah, so it is a sweater. It's really big and really heavy.
What is that?
But it looks
worsted
super
or DK?
comfy.
It is worsted. It is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in Bittersweet Heather. And it's the Snowbird pattern by Heidi Kermeyer.
Yeah, but it looks really awesome on you, and it looks super comfortable.
It's so comfortable. It's sad that I just finished it because I'm not going to get much wear out of it because it's a giant worsted weight sweater. But it's
No, it's actually supposed. There's going back and forth, but it might snow on Friday.
I was
so-
about to say, welcome to Kentucky.
I will wear the shit out of this. then.
Right. Yeah. No. Don't say you don't have time.
Last
yet.
week
You've still
I
got
wore
time.
it like every single day. Just to be like, okay, it's going to be like 70s and 80s soon. So,
Yeah. Don't worry. They're talking
going
about
for it.
snow.
ew.
Welcome to Kentucky.
I mean, I'm from Chicago,
Oh no.
but
No.
like
the Ohio Valley.
it just is consistently cold. It's not like today it was
Yeah.
beautiful. It doesn't do
Ours-
that.
our weather tends to go
It's weather by Sybil.
Actually, that's a very good way to put it. Yeah.
That's how I've always put it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Weather by Sybil.
It's pretty accurate.
Fair enough. That's it. I got those 2 big things. I didn't finish my socks yet. They're still a work in progress.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Okay. So I have one finished object as well. I actually finished it while I was on vacation last week. I finished the Inspira Cow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Still.
Not your jam?
Yeah. We'll put it that way. You're good with the niceties.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it looks like shit, but
Not your jam.
not my jam. Like it fits well, it wears well, but it's just the color combination. I'm just not jiving with me, but she likes it, so it's all that really matters. So I gotta mail that out to her. She'll probably get it before this airs. And so yeah, it's all finished and ready to go. I just have to get my ass to the post office. Works in progress.
Well, should we do stash enhancement first? Because that's going to weigh heavily into my works in progress.
We can do that if you like.
Okay,
I would,
Yeah,
because of what's in my hands right now.
yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Okay, so between last month and today, I had a birthday. And my stash enhancement actually comes from a birthday gift from Emily over here.
Yay.
Got me like the greatest, most perfect for me skein of yarn ever. It is by Destination Yarn. It is their postcard fingering weight, which is like 75% superwash, 25% nylon, in a colorway called Shark Infested Waters. And it is totally my jam. Like, it's amazing.
Would you say it's your like your chum?
It is my chum. It is the best thing ever. Like, it really does look like there's blood splattered all over it. It makes me so happy.
It does. It's very bloody looking.
So just to give you an idea, it's mostly blues and like a little bit of white and gray thrown in there.
Yeah, it's kind
and
of
then-
like ocean wave colors.
And then
with
you got like
blood.
Just speckled
It's
throughout.
like the colors of the Jaws movie poster.
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah, makes me very happy inside.
Yay! I'm glad you like it.
I watched it again the other day, by the way.
It's so good.
I have
I can't stop watching
Amber's
it.
birthday present in my house right now.
What?
And
And I
My
know what it
birthday's not
is.
for another month.
I bought it when I bought hers so that I wouldn't have to give it to you belated like I did for her. Haha.
And I actually know what it is, so ha 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 ha.
I don't care.
Oh, I do.
See, I'm one of those people where I don't get overexcited about things because I don't know. I guess I've had so many people in my life, Kirsten, try to get me super excited about things that she can't tell me, and she's trying to build up the suspense that I've just kind of lost all of it.
It's legit.
I also think it kind of takes some of the fun away from her, and I tend to be a fun sucker. So,
No, I'm just excited on your behalf. And possibly jealous.
well, it's yarn probably.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
Why
not
would it
telling
be
you.
yarn?
Why would you get
wonder.
anything yarn related for your birthday?
Yeah. Anyways, so you want to go on with your works in progress?
Works in progress. Oh, I had stash
No,
enhancement,
stash
so
enhancement.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I've got these skeins of paca peds, which my
Pachyderm?
dad,
Pachyderm?
like alpaca.
Oh, I thought you were talking about elephants.
That would be cool if it was elephant yarn.
Imagine that would be kind of smelly.
Yeah. My dad was at some sort of a business festival, outdoor fair, and saw this booth selling alpaca yarn and called me and was like, hey, do you want this yarn? And I was like, I always want yarn. So he bought me these. They're from the Alpaca Yarn Company. And this is their sock base, which has 20% superfine alpaca, 65% superwash wool, and 15% nylon. And it is the Deep Seas colorway, which is like some dark greens and purpley biz going on. And this is like 800 yards of alpaca fingering weight yarn, which is sweet. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it.
You said that's their sock base? All I can imagine is wearing alpaca on your feet, how hot your feet would get.
I have 800 yards, so clearly I'm not going to make socks.
I know, but I'm just thinking like from their end. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Oh no, that would make my feet very happy come wintertime.
Oh,
because
yeah. I
I guess
forgot.
if you're walking around in the winter, that would be...
Well,
I
like-
have some alpaca sock yarn. I haven't knit it yet.
And there's people like me whose feet are just eternally cold.
Mine
So-
are
Yeah.
always cold.
mine are not. I overheat.
Mine are cold right now.
Anyways, back
Carry
to
on.
it.
Oh, works
Game
in
on.
progress. So I have my Pebble Socks by Amina Phillips in Long Dog Yarn, Dark Dimension. I did not finish them yet, but I am very close. I'm past the heel on the second sock.
Highlighter as well.
Yes, and the highlighter. Yeah, they're fun.
They look fun.
They paused for a second because I was on the heel, and I don't really like to knit heel flaps like out and about. I prefer to do them in the comfort of my own home. But now they are portable again, so they will get done
Portable.
soon. Oh, I also have my sock yarn blanket, the
And what is that?
mitered
right there?
squares.
What
This
about-
is cast on. So
What about the shimshnicki?
Jimsterniki, those ones.
Yeah.
Those haven't really gotten any love this month.
Aw.
Yeah, I need to.
So sad because it's
They're
so
on the
fun
heel
to
too.
say.
Yeah, they're on the heel too. So I didn't bring them. We went to Nashville, and I didn't bring them with me because it's black the heel too. So it's like pretty hard to see, not in like the perfect lighting situation. But once I get past that second heel, those are just gonna zoom because they're just vanilla. Jimschnicke.
I love it. Okay, I guess I will go on to my works in progress because I don't have any stash enhancement because I'm cheap.
Mine was free.
I didn't buy mine.
Yeah, you
I
guys
bought hers.
Okay, anyways. So I'm still working on Kirsten socks. I actually knitted a couple rounds on it this month.
Yay!
Yeah, so it's getting there. Not quite there, but it's getting there. And then I have the only two other things. So I have the Whippet that I'm making for Gail, and I am probably, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the way done with the body, and then
I'm very
I'll just have
impressed
the
with how
sleeves.
fast that is going.
Well, the only reason
It
it's
gives
fast,
me delusions that I could make a
Delusions of
fingering weight
grandeur.
sweater and it wouldn't take 100 years.
I was on vacation last week. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
When you see that, I was on vacation.
Yeah, I'm with Emily on this one still.
Oh, okay, whatever. And then we all have our knit along that we're doing. And I just finished Clue 3 right before the recording. Bwahaha!
Snap. I'm like halfway through Clue 3.
I haven't started Clue 3 yet because of my work in progress.
Sharks.
Yeah. So I immediately cast on my shark yarn and cast on Reyna, Reyna,
It's a free pattern.
a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is perfect for this highly variegated yarn, and it actually is working out beautifully, which means that I've abandoned...
Totes my pattern suggestion too. Crushing it.
Yes, absolutely crushing it. Because I pretty
Hashtag
much...
crushing it.
I've
Hashtag
ignored...
Will Wheaton.
I've pretty much ignored everything else since I got this in my grubby little paws last week. I got my yarn in the mail for Clue 3, ordered in another set of needles because I stole them for the shark yarn. Haven't actually worked on it. I did actually pull out my taboo last night, though.
Ooh.
I know, right? And I'm, I think, 2 rows away from finishing chart B, finally.
I guess I'm actually going to have to cast this thing on.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to start a new chart.
I'm at a point where I like either need to cast on some stuff or will rip that back to the lifeline. So
Well, you should rip it back and make me feel better about not even casting on the knit along.
I should.
Yeah. And let me win this one. Yay.
Yay!
And let's see, I actually worked on my sweater on the sleeve that never ends, and I'm only like an inch away from it being interesting and not a soul-sucking experience again. So maybe I'll have a finished sleeve by the end of this month, but I have no soul to suck, but it tries. It tries very hard. And let's see, my vanilla socks are actually, I'm still on the first one, but I'm up to where I need to do math for calf increases. So I could bind off now and have a sock, but I want to use all of the yarn.
Impressive.
Which yarn is it?
The Felici sock yarn and the
yes.
some various shades of purples. I can't remember.
all purples.
Foxglove. It is.
I'm impressed with your memory.
Yeah, because it's my yarn. I don't even fucking remember.
Don't ask me how.
Hey, no, you got it. Nailed it.
They just do so many colors of that. I don't know.
Well, I think the only reason I knew that is because pretty much my exposure of the Felici has been Erin, and so I
I'm
only
like
know
a plague.
I only know the colorways that she has.
Very plaguey.
So, because I don't actually own any.
Oh, I own
Oddly
lots. I own too
Yeah,
much.
I own more. But yeah, so I'm knitting 1 sock per skein, and
Oh, yeah, that'll be a big sock.
yeah, so I'm up to the point. I'm doing them toe up, so I'm actually to where I need to start doing a little bit of math. So yeah, it's
Just to let
moving
you
along
know,
nicely.
for my giant calves, I at first had to increase every other row, and then I did every 4th row.
I'm at like right before the calf, like where the calf really starts to get bigger, but where the leg starts to get bigger just on its own. So the increasing at this point should still be kind of slow because I've got another inch or 2 before I get to actual calf meat, at which point it'll just go insane.
It's just,
Yeah.
mine are pretty well tapered. Yay for talking about our calves.
Hey, my calves look
Calves.
great, and they're covered in ink. So
Yes, a new one at that.
more ink. Yay.
I loves it. So
I have
So
a
that's
new
actually, I
thing.
think, all of my works in progress.
Yeah.
And my Magrathea is coming along when I feel like working on that one. If only I could learn project monogamy, I would totally finish things.
No, it's overrated.
Or at least, not monogamy, but maybe just like, a steady one with one or two on the side.
Maybe if I went for the yarn love triangle instead of the,
Orgy.
yarn, yeah. I can't help it.
You're like
I need a
yarn
lot of
one-night
love.
stands.
But I keep going back to them, like one night a month, maybe.
Well, I mean, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go back and get that lovin'.
Yep.
All right. So, I think that's
started
it for yarn and...
Yeah, I have this hat, which is the Antler Toque by Tin Can Knits, which is also a free pattern on Ravelry. And it is for my husband in Madeline Tosh Vintage, which is their worsted weight base. And it's just simple little cable pattern hat going on. It's fun to work on.
So I see you started off with the ribbing in a different color.
I did, and that's because I made him those fingerless convertible mittens, and they are this blue color, so they will match the mittens.
So you're really making him a matching hat to go with his beautiful mittens.
I am.
You're
Yes, but I didn't quite
such
have
nice.
enough of the blue to do it. I would have just done the whole hat blue, but I don't think I have enough to do the whole hat blue, so.
Well, he had man hands.
He has giant man hands and a
You're
giant
such a
man
nice
head.
wife.
I'm going to have to do. I'm concerned that it's not wide enough right now. It's still, like, shrinking from the ribbing, so I can't, like, really tell. But I'm a little concerned it's not big enough.
Have you tried it on his head?
It's, like, hard to tell at this.
Yeah, you're much nicer than I am. I just taught my husband how to knit.
I tried. It didn't work.
Didn't stick.
I don't have a husband, so, But Lord
Because
knows
you
if
have
I did.
all those side projects.
So many side projects.
If I had a husband, I may or may not knit for him, and it would depend, I guess, on the husband. God save the soul of whoever decides to marry me. Try to make me an honest woman, because that's never going to happen.
Okay, so we can move on to our segment for this month. Are you guys ready for that?
Yes.
Yes'm.
The Fandoms, Part 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
Knitting in fandoms.
Yes.
Pigs in space. What?
Well, we can start off with the Muppets if you wish, Erin.
Okay, so there is an insane amount of knitting in Fraggle Rock, for the record.
And for those who don't know Fraggle Rock, go Google it now, and we will smack
We'll
you
wait.
later.
We can wait. So there's an entire episode where the Doozers stop building and take up knitting instead, and they sing a whole song about knitting.
What? That's great. I'm going to find that on YouTube and post it on our Facebook
Oh,
page.
absolutely, because it is fucking phenomenal. And there's an episode where the trash heap knits Argyle.
Ooh, impressive.
Right.
Trash heap.
Well, she is the almighty. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I haven't watched that show since I was really little, but I really liked it. I want to watch
Santa
it
Claus
again.
gave me the entire box set on DVD like 5 or 6 years ago, because I may love all things Jim Henson.
It's coming back to HBO, right? That was news on the internet
I
recently.
think so. But yeah, so I have the complete collection on DVD, and there's another episode, I think, where Moki knits. But definitely the trash heap's knitting fucking Argyle, because she's the boss, and the really weird episode where the Doozers stop building and all take up knitting and are terrible at it, and it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I will have to,
Jim
I will
Henson
find
is
that
the
song for
greatest.
you.
Oh, I have a different Muppet knitting thing.
What do you have?
In Muppet Treasure Island, there is a scene where they're on the boat where there is a pirate. Would you like to talk about this?
No, I just I
bouncing
knew
up and down.
exactly who that was, and it's New Zealand. Because
He,
I,
with
he
the
looks
boomerang
like the
fish.
guy. Oh, he is the
He's-
fish
he's
guy.
the boomerang fish
Cool.
guy.
I couldn't tell if he just looked like him or if
no,
he was
it was him because I totally love Muppet Treasure Island. Like, love
It's
that movie.
An excellent film. Tim Curry.
And-
I mean, Tim
A
Curry.
plus.
Tim Curry, yes. And it's just one of those things where when I was reading your notes saying that, it was the pirate dude knitting, I was like, I know who that is! And I had to go in and type it because... Anyway, sorry.
Yes, so there's a pirate dude who is... Oh, yeah,
New
you
Zealand.
put New Zealand in our notes here. Nice. Collaboration on the internet. Yeah. He's knitting a pirate flag, which is adorable. He's doing some little Fair Isle to make his little skull and crossbones.
Or maybe it's in Tarja.
It might be Antarja. We don't know. We can't see the back of it.
Nope. Maybe he's just that badass.
He probably is.
Yeah.
I've only done Antarja squares. I've never done shapes.
I've done it in Tarja Coke bottle.
Oh, that sounds impressive.
I did Intarja letter T for the Pratchkin, actually, for Terry Pratchett.
Nice.
Yeah. I have 2 squares in the Pratchkin, actually.
Anywho.
So we had Muppets. Do we want to do like...
So kind of along the Muppet line, but not Muppet, but I was thinking of, kids stuff. I was recently watching, introducing my daughter to Coraline.
It's a type of puppetry.
In a
Sort of.
way.
Stop motion.
Stop motion.
That's like manipulating
But I
things.
didn't want to say, like, Muppets, because
They're not
it's
Muppets.
not Muppet.
Yeah.
but along the same lines, I can weave my way into this. The lovely ladies downstairs knit the angel costumes for their dead dogs.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
And so that is wonderful. And then the wonderful hand-knitted sweater that Coraline gets to wear is gorgeous.
Yeah, that was hand knit using like wires and oh my god,
And a
that
magnifying glass, I hope.
I mean, my eyes just cry thinking about it. But I have
beautiful.
terrible eyesight anyway. But yeah,
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this topic, because I feel like when you are thinking about that, you notice a lot of knitting in random things.
Yeah, because like we had talked about doing this episode, and I was just like, I'm gonna put on Coraline for Grace because she obviously hasn't seen it. She's only a year old, and I was just like, there's knitting in this, and it was a great little moment. So I had to run to my phone and write it in there real quick, and so that was kind of like my epiphany moment of spotting the knitting where I never would have assumed knitting to be.
Yeah, that's sweet. I have like a kid related one. When I haven't seen this, but when I was researching, trying to find things that had knitting in them, I found out that there is a whole episode of the TV show Arthur where Arthur learns how to knit. Arthur the Aardvark on PBS.
I was like,
right. I was
thinking
trying to
Arthur,
place the show
Merlin.
too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yes, I realized that there are many Arthurs. Now, Arthur the Aardvark, who reads, his grandma teaches him. She's teaching DW how to knit, I guess, and then Arthur like gets interested, and she teaches him. And apparently, the whole episode is him being super embarrassed that he is a boy who is knitting, and he wants to use pink yarn, and he's like really embarrassed about that, and he's like hiding it from people. And there is a dream sequence where he has a scarlet letter type dream, and there is a K for knitter on him in the dream. And then at the end, they even go to an LYS in the show, and then at the
that
end,
sounds fantastic.
I know, right? I want to watch this episode. I bet I can find it on the internet.
I think Netflix has Arthur.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Oh, by the way, I actually wrote down what season this is. This is Arthur season 14, because yes, there are 14 seasons of the TV show Arthur.
Holy shit.
Episode 8A, because it's like the kids show where there's the
where
2
there's-
in 1.
So there's a story before commercial, after commercial.
Yeah, so this must be the one before commercial because it's A. Yes, and the title is Arthur Unravels. And apparently the end, it resolves. Binky and the other kids find out about his knitting, and Dr. Fuge? That dog doctor character from Arthur stops them from making fun of Arthur by making the following speech. Crafts aren't just for girls or boys or for young or old. They're for everyone. And then he insults the other kid by saying, by the way, Binky, I loved your dancing in Swan Lake the other night.
Holy
Like,
shit.
Dude, you're like
Harsh.
an adult figure. So harsh. And then he asks the kids to join his knitting club, and then everyone joins the knitting club. And that's
Aw.
adorable.
Adorbs.
PBS.
I do
Yes.
love PBS.
Except for the mocking the kid for his dancing skills.
That's not great.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it was mocking. It was just calling him out for
Yeah, like,
doing exactly.
dude, you do ballet. You're making fun of this kid for knitting
Right.
with pink yarn.
Don't be a dick.
Hashtag Will Wheaton.
Hashtag Will Wheaton. Apparently, we're just gonna have a lot of Will Wheaton this episode. Woohoo! Which is a-okay with me.
Will Wheaton, speaking of Will Wheaton, when I was doing research for this, there are some pictures on the internet of Will Wheaton holding up socks that are being knit, but he doesn't actually knit. They're just like people who asked him to take a picture with their work in progress.
Was it like the
la
Wesley
Yarn
sweater
Harlot.
pattern?
No, it's like a
No,
sock
they're
on
like
DPN.
so. Like the Yarn
Yeah.
Harlot had the socks in progress. People like
Oh,
with
maybe
famous
it
people.
is.
So it has started a trend with other people having random people hold socks in progress. So I think that's what it was.
By the way, random fact, Misha Collins knits.
That's cool.
Because I tried to find a gif of supernatural knitting, and of course that picture popped up, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that could be a whole other episode, by the way, because I found
Yeah.
a lot of that while we were looking at for this of like famous people who knit.
Yeah. Anyways, moving back to knitting and fandoms.
Knitting
Sorry.
and fandoms.
Tangent. So you mentioned the scarlet letter thing of the K on the chest, and that got me thinking about the Harry Potter.
Oh, so many examples in Harry Potter. Do you guys want to name a couple?
Well, of course, there's the Weasley sweaters.
It's a big one.
Yeah, the R and the H, and
My absolute favorite thing is when Dumbledore asks to borrow the knitting magazine.
That's my favorite too. And I wrote down the exact quote because I like it so much. It's, "No, I was merely reading the Muggle magazines. I do love knitting patterns."
yes, that is a very good one. And then you want to take the one that's in the book, not the movie.
Oh, the Hagrid knitting.
Yes.
When
Oh, yeah.
Hagrid goes to pick up Harry to take him to Diagon Alley, they're riding on the tube. And
Knitting something big and ugly.
and yellow.
Yeah.
It is described as Hagrid took up 2 seats and sat knitting what looked like a canary yellow circus tent. So he must be making himself a little sweater, a little
Yeah.
Hagrid sweater.
Canary yellow sweater.
So that's great. And then Dobby knits.
And so does Hermione.
Yes, Hermione sucks though.
It's still knitting.
It's
I mean,
still knitting, but they can't
everybody
even tell
sucks.
that they're hats.
Everybody sucks when you first start out, though.
It's true.
Fine.
Hermione is also trying to trick house elves into freeing themselves with her knitting.
Right.
But yeah, Dobby knits Harry some socks with some like really intense color work on them. There's some broomsticks and snitches.
I remember that. Actually, I just read that portion in my reread of the Goblet of Fire. Yeah.
Nice. Chad and I are reading Prisoner of Azkaban aloud to each other.
Aw.
No, we're so cute.
Yeah.
I just threw up in my mouth a little, yeah. Like Amber made the noise for me, but I'm the one who threw up.
I told you, I make noises. This is what I do. This is my contribution. I make noises.
Fair enough.
I think that's all of the Harry Potter, right? Or
Yeah, that's a lot for one thing. Oh,
Well,
also,
it's-
there's one thing where Trelawney says she is absorbed in her needlework.
Well, that may be
But that could
any
mean a number
sort of
of
fire.
things.
She seems more of an embroiderer to
That's
me.
what I was thinking.
Oh, I was thinking cross stitch.
Cross stitch is a form of embroidery.
I'm just thinking specifics, semantics.
No, I could see her doing, like, tapestry type weirdness.
Yeah, like
Ah.
really
like,
like,
the-
out there, like I'm gonna like incorporate these strings from the tea bags the kids use to do the tea leaf reading, and
Or, like, some weird tapestry of, like, the different phases of the moon kind of shit.
And honestly, if I could have anything from the Harry Potter world, it would be those magic needles that Molly Weasley has.
Oh, Jesus.
those were a practical prop, by the way. That's not CG. That's something that they built with a motor that works.
But it doesn't actually knit. It just moved the needles back and forth.
Correct. It does not actually knit, but it's still a practical prop.
Yes. I love practical effects. CG can suck it.
I love
Anyways.
both. No, there's good, like,
I
there's
like
good
both, but
examples.
I appreciate
know.
the
It-
there's a
practical
good-
more.
Like, Lord of the Rings is a good example of a good blend of the
Yes.
two.
Yes.
Totally.
That is
Absolutely.
done.
And then they
that is
forgot
done
about
right.
it when they filmed fucking Hobbit.
Those
But
don't
Yeah, let's not talk
Kinda-
about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. So that was all the Harry Potters. Another book example.
Oh, sorry. I was going to think along the kids line again.
Oh, we could do kids.
The Totoro.
What about?
I mean, not Totoro.
Oh, Spirited Away.
Spirit Away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Miyazaki.
there's a bunch of the Spirited
My
Away
brain.
is my favorite movie. If people ask me my favorite movie, that's the one I say usually. At Granny's house at the end, they do lots of needlework. Granny has like a shit ton of badass needlework stuff. She's got some spinning
gonna
wheels,
say the
she's
spinning
got
wheel.
some looms, she's got some sweet tapestry, she's got bowls of yarn and stuff. She's a boss. But No Face spins Chihiro a thread that she uses to tie her hair up, and that's kind of the denouement at the end of the movie, that she still, even though like all of the magic goes away, she still has that hair tie that he made her at the end. And then also they teach No Face and the little baby cute mouse thing to knit, so that's pretty sweet.
You were going into a different book?
Book Miss Marple.
Oh, yeah. So Miss Marple in all of the books and
She doesn't
in at least 2 different TV adaptations.
Yeah,
I think
saw
there's
pictures
3.
of her doing it.
I'm a big fan of the Joan Hickson Miss Marple, for the record, and I've actually been binge watching that all this week. But in the book, she's described as like this sweet little old lady who's always knitting something like fluffy, little woolen thing for somebody's soon-to-be kid that she's probably not even related to, but she just knows the whole village. And it cracks me up because they try to portray her as like this sweet, innocent, like absent-minded little old lady with the sharpest fucking forensic brain. Like the head of Scotland Yard at one point says she has the best forensic brain in all of England.
And some podcast I was listening to, they were talking about how clearly she is the murderer because everywhere she goes, there's murders.
I think that can be said about a lot of English murder mysteries. Like, how many fucking
That's
people
a
live
theme
in Midsummer?
in Sherlock a lot.
Well, I
right?
mean,
That
have
they
you ever
think he
watched
did it.
Midsummer Murders?
I've never watched that period.
Oh my god! So Midsummer Murders is like a newer set English murder mystery. Barnaby's wife, man, she's got to be the killer because everywhere she goes, somebody's dying, and her husband gets involved because he's, in the police. But it's just a thing. Like, apparently, you go to England and you live in a quaint English village, and somebody's going to murder the shit out of you, and it'll be really entertaining to see how. Mm-hmm. And Miss Marple can figure it out because she saw, like, the local fish market boy do something similar with change, like, 500 years ago. It's always a village parallel. That's how she solves it. She doesn't... Okay. It's not from going out and experiencing the world. It's just so much time studying human nature within the village. She's always just sitting there and figuring things out while she's knitting.
Nice.
I love it.
So another TV show?
TV shows, I have Gravity Falls, which I just finished watching. There's a lot of knitting in that show.
I haven't seen it.
It's on Disney XD. You should really consider watching it. It's only 2 seasons, and it's a complete, fully done show. It was great. It's animated, but it is like very adult. It's not adult like Adult Swim. It's for kids because it's on Disney, but lots of jokes for adults. Mabel is one of the main characters, and she's voiced by Kristen Shaw, who also voices Louise in Bob's Burgers. Yes. So she wears a different sweater every single episode, and it is kind of implied that she knits all those sweaters because she's like knitting in a lot of background shots, like while they watch TV and stuff. Mabel does knit flicks. And there's also an episode, she has a pet pig named Waddles, who is her soulmate, and she loves him. And she knits him a little sweater with her face on it, and she has a sweater with his face on it. And the pig gets abducted by a pterodactyl in that episode, and the ball of yarn is still attached to the sweater that the pig is wearing, so they find him by following the unraveled ball of yarn across the forest, so that's pretty great. Yeah, and if you look up Mabel on the Gravity Falls Wikia, it even lists knitting as one of her special powers. So yeah, if that's a potential future cosplay for Dragon Con for me, I would really like to like knit the pig sweater and have a little stuffed pig with me. That would be really cute.
That would be awesome. Let's see. There's actually knitting in a Bob's Burgers episode.
Oh,
What's up, my knitters?
Yeah.
yeah, I missed that one.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because Mr. Frond knits. That's right.
I've never seen the show, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Frond totally knits. He makes like weird felt puppets too.
Yeah, but there's like they go to the yarn store or something at one point and get in a fight with the yarn store owner.
Oh, I need to look that up. I didn't come across that in my finding episodes of things with knitting in them.
Well, I mean,
But I've
Bob's
watched that
Burgers,
show,
right
and I
on.
do remember that Mr. Frond knits.
I apparently live under a rock and don't watch any shows, so.
No, it's okay. You have
It's
a
an
baby.
amusing cartoon.
But you could watch Gravity Falls with your young one.
I mean, I've put on
Yeah,
Silence
you
of
don't
the
care.
Lambs,
That's true.
but like,
But
those-
even when she starts repeating things, you could watch Gravity Falls with her.
When she starts repeating things, we're going to be in a lot of fucking trouble.
yeah, I mean,
That's true. Never
Auntie
mind.
Erin over here.
I'm not as bad as Auntie Juanita, though.
Well, I never get to see Auntie Juanita.
Yeah.
Sad. Future guest someday.
But yeah, we're big fans of the F-bomb.
We haven't made that clear enough.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
We hate the fucking
Fuck no.
F. Fuck no. I can't stand that fucking word. Why the
So
fuck is it in
vulgar.
the title of our podcast?
That was a mistake.
Fuck.
Another TV show with knitting, Gilmore Girls.
Never watched it.
Never watched it either.
They there's a
I too
couple
live under a random rock.
references to knitting, and a couple people do it as like stage business.
All I know is lots of coffee and Luke's Diner.
So accurate. Exceptionally accurate. There is an episode in season 7, which is a season no one likes, but I like this episode because of this. It's the 9th episode, and the title is Knit People Knit. And it's because they have a knit-a-thon to raise money to fix a bridge, and they're pledging by the skein. So clearly whoever wrote that script has never knit, because that's a horrible way to pledge. They're going to get through like one skein.
Knit by the...
Or whoever wrote that episode is, like from Norway or something where they're just like,
Zipping
poof,
through it.
here's a, yeah.
Yeah, but by the yard, if you're planning a knit-a-thon, sounds more reasonable.
from Norwegian meter.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there is Christopher, the character who I hate, he's rich and he just gives them the money to fix the bridge, and then they're all disappointed because the point was to fix the bridge with knitting.
And now I'm imagining a yarn-bombed bridge.
Actually, speaking of yarn bomb bridges, I think I've seen this this particular tiny thing of graffiti, but I noticed today when I wasn't the driver of the car, I think it's actually knitted. And it's just a little sign hanging on the chain link fence over by the Girl Scout thing that just says "She persisted."
Oh, that's cute.
I think
I
I've
think
seen
that's
that.
knitted, actually. I'll have to go by
We
there
may have
again.
to stop by on the way home.
Take a picture of it for Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we could park by the Girl Scout. There's actually a sidewalk
Yeah.
right there now. So, yeah, we should do that on the way home.
Yep, we can do that.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Because even if it's not knitted, it would still make a great picture.
Yep.
Other TV shows, Friends has some knitting in it. You don't like Friends?
My mom was obsessed with it, therefore I hate it.
I like it. It's not the best ever, but it's amusing.
I'm strange. I didn't like Friends and I didn't like Steinfeld. Sue me.
I don't like Seinfeld either.
I like Seinfeld.
She's the strange one in this.
Yes, it's true.
I just like television. Yes.
We like horror.
Neither of those are my favorite
Right, you don't-
shows.
you
I
don't
just
like horror
them.
movies
I
and-
don't know
yeah.
you. So in season 1, episode 16, which is the one with the parts, or the one with 2 parts, sorry, Phoebe and Joey are having an awkward conversation. Joey wants to date Phoebe's twin sister, who is of course played by Lisa Kudrow also, and it's awkward. And they are, like, the stage business that they are doing that during this time is Monica is knitting from a skein that Chandler has open on his hands, and Rachel is winding that skein into a ball all at the same time. So they're doing like a little chain. It's weird. No one would ever do that. But there's an awkward lull in the conversation, so Chandler, to move the conversation along, shouts at Monica, "Knit, good woman, knit, knit!" And I've seen some gifs of that on various knitting forums as well. So there's that one. And then season 4, episode 19, the one with all the haste. Phoebe is pregnant, and she is trying to cast on a project and announces that it's too hard. And then later in the episode, she just knots some yarn together and then says it's a scarf. So
Yeah. That sounds about right.
she's not good at it.
No.
No, but since she was talking about Friends and we were talking about horror, my brain immediately was like, you know how much better Friends would be if it was reshot as a slasher flick?
Ooh.
I would watch that.
Where all of them die in every episode?
Yeah.
I would watch Rachel and Ross die in every episode. I hate
like
them
this
very
idea.
much.
Yeah.
I like this idea. I like this idea.
Or even
So
just
repetitive.
once, like have just like them randomly die throughout the episode.
NBC, come
was I
talk to
doing?
us.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll take 1%, please.
Revivals are really big right now.
They are. Dear
Oof.
goodness, they are.
Firefly, you guys know about that.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Firefly.
What? Oh.
It's okay. We just ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen.
Basically,
and,
yeah.
and we just continue on. That's
Yeah, I
what
said it.
we've all done in
I've
the
said it,
past.
Yeah, I've said it.
We just kind of ignore that part of her.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not perfect.
The things you learn about your friends in the podcast.
I'm disturbed.
It's okay.
I'm saddened.
It's okay.
It was the hardest thing to get Chad to watch that show because he watched the first episode and was like, "No, I hate this." And I was like, "No, I know you're really good. Like, not just because I want you to like a thing that I like, but I am married to you and I know that you will really like this show. So fucking watch it." And he loved it, of course.
Of course.
I'm just trying not to start any other shows until I finish some of the fucking ones that I already have. Like somebody.
No, I'm not judging you for not watching
No,
it.
you're
I'm
just
judging
no,
my
you-
husband.
No, you judged me already. I saw it in your eyes.
It was in the eyes.
I tried not to.
She's lies.
It was hard.
Lies. You totally judged. But I still need to finish Doctor Who, which we actually got called out on.
We totally talked about the scarf,
I think we did, yeah. But that was about it, though.
but we didn't have it in any of our lists, which is
Which we can go into Doctor Who segue.
yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, the reason I brought up Firefly, the hat. Jane's mom makes him a hat. The end. That's pretty much it. No one knits on stage, on screen.
Okay, so
Not that
now
I
on to
know.
Doctor Who.
On Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor in the horrible movie, which I absolutely love.
I
I
haven't
need to
seen
see
that
that.
movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
We should watch that sometime.
It's pretty awesome and horrible all at the same time.
He knits.
I think he mentions it a couple times, and then of course, when he's transforming into the War Doctor, he actually mentioned that he didn't bring any knitting with him.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So the 8th Doctor was in fact a knitter.
Nice.
That's why he's my second favorite.
I like it.
10 for life.
10
We-
is my favorite.
We all have our doctors. It's all okay.
10 is my favorite.
10 for life.
But really, River Song is my favorite. I like her better than I like the Doctor.
I've gotten to see like maybe one episode of River Song because I refuse to give up Tenet, but now that I have my boyfriend addicted to Doctor Who, we are going to get through this together. Although we've hit the point where because I told him that there is an episode that will make me sob like a small child. The one with Rose on the beach.
Oh, yeah, that one's very sad.
It's so very sad. And I've warned him about this. And like, this is going to be a thing. And he asked me to rate it on a scale of Fry's dog. If you've seen that Futurama episode.
I have not, but I have a Futurama example for this.
Right. So it's a very sad episode. He's like on a scale of like Fry's dog. Whereas I'm like, it's like 10 Fry's dogs. So he's pretty nervous about it. And I told him I'm not going to tell him when it's coming. I'm going to do my best to like be stone faced.
I was about to say, all he has to do is like look over at you and see the tears welling up in your eyes,
It's
because I
apparent.
know that's how it's
like
going to
the
happen.
last
It's
thing
gonna
that
be
happens in
apparent.
that season, right?
we're there now.
Oh no. Yeah, it's very
because it's a
sad.
2-part episode, we have been putting it off not because I have told him that this is going to be a thing, but because it's a 2-part episode. We just haven't had the time to sit down and watch 2 full episodes. He doesn't know that it's next, and oh my god, you guys, I'm gonna cry. But anyway, once we get through Tenet, I'll get all caught up on Doctor Who.
Nice.
Yeah, he's gonna help me get over it because I love David Tennant. Oh, I think you got catted.
Oh, you totally got catted. I'm so sorry. Ash broke her yarn away from the ball, as she is wont to do.
Damn you, cat!
Yeah, you should probably keep your ball on the table.
It is.
It is. Oh. Yeah, this has happened to me before.
Sneaky ninja kitty.
A hitchhiker that I was knitting for my aunt, I had just bound it off, and I left it on the couch, and it still had the ends out, and she bit off the end and bit through 3 of the rows of the tooth, too, so I had to reknit the whole last tooth on the fucking thing. Oh, cat.
That's gonna sit right there.
Sorry.
It's
But
okay.
you don't want to spit splice on the podcast?
She's cute.
It's superwash.
Oh. You don't
Yeah.
want to rush and join on the podcast?
I don't have my needle with me. My darning needle.
If only there was one inside this apartment.
I have one. Do you want one?
Pause!
I don't even need to pause. I can get it
Oh.
right here.
Psych!
So prepared.
Anyways, so you said you had something Futurama knitting?
Yes, in season 2, episode 16, which is the anthology of interest 1, Zoidberg is knitting
Zoidberg.
How?
with his claws.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have to use yarn snips, though. He could just...
Yeah, I could just clip it. Yes, he's knitting. He doesn't
I
have
don't
fingers.
remember that, but...
Yeah, this is
I
totally...
didn't. It's definitely very much in the background. Like Leela walks in and is being casual, and then Zoidberg's knitting on the couch. I think Leela kills him for some reason in that episode. Yeah, other TV show related to The Simpsons, or related to, I just gave it away, related to Futurama.
Surprise!
In The Simpsons, Marge Simpson knits all the time. She's knitting a lot on the couch. And in The Simpsons movie, she knits a little sign that says, "Gnome sweet gnome," when they live in Alaska.
You know, my husband has, like, almost every season of Simpsons ever made.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I've sat down and I've watched several seasons. I cannot tell you that Marge actually knitted. Like, it just did not even enter my brain.
It's like it's like she just does it in the background. I don't think they talk about it a lot. It's
But,
just
like,
something for her to do, you know?
I even notice things like that occasionally, but it's just like, apparently I wasn't that into it.
Apparently, I didn't write this one down, but apparently Homer is building a car in some episode, and Marge is like judging him for that, and he says, "Well, Marge, you can do whatever, or you could knit me some seatbelts."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
One more TV thing before you talk about Yoshi over there. MASH.
Yes, I have that on my thing.
yeah, MASH.
Yep.
I love MASH.
Margaret
There's a lot
knits.
of knitting.
Margaret knits.
Hawkeye knits.
Yep.
Doesn't Father Mulcahy knit at some point? Or am I hallucinating that?
That's very possible.
I don't remember.
It's
It's been
another thing
years
I watched
since I've
when
seen
I was
it.
very small.
Yeah.
When it was on Nick at Night.
Well, I even...
Anytime I come across it on TV, which granted I've cut cable like 10 years ago, so it's not that often anymore, but anytime I'm anywhere and I'm like, oh, MASH, I have to watch it. Would actually love to own the entire collection one day because it's
a
such
great
a
show.
fucking good show.
It really is.
Yeah, I wrote down a specific episode. It's season 9, episode 6. God, that show was on for a long time. It's called A War for All Seasons, and it kind of like goes through a whole year in flashbacks in the episode. And Margaret starts off knitting a pot holder, and then it turns into a scarf, and then it turns into a blanket. So it like evolves throughout the different seasons, and it's one of the way they show time moving.
My question is, how did she get all that yarn?
Valid.
At the local yarn store in the middle of the war. Don't look
Someone
at me like
sent
that.
it to
It's
her
sarcasm.
in a care package.
Right, obviously it was a care package. I got
See, now I have to go watch the episode to see if it was all the same color. Because if it was all the same color, whoever gave them
It
that
is
care
all
pack,
the same color.
that person deserves a medal.
Or, I mean, it could be like one of those, you know, knit for your men kind of things where they were sending, because they're nurses, you know. That'd be the kind of weird sexist thing they did back
Or they
then.
sent like everyone a ball of yarn, and she took everyone's yarn.
Bitch, I will cut you. Give me
Be
your fucking
rude.
yarn. I will stab you with my needles.
That's pretty much the last TV show thing I had. Oh, I did have Downton Abbey. Ethel knits while on break, totally in the background.
Oh, and Call the Midwife.
Oh yeah, that one I
Crochet.
Yeah, but they say they're knitting,
But it's totally
they're
fucking crochet.
They are granny square blankets, and they're like, "We're knitting these blankets." It's a granny square, guys. You're not
Yeah.
knitting that.
Nope. Those screenwriters need to be shot.
Yeah.
Or at least flogged with some yarn and then educated. But I'm thinking flogging with like a red heart whip, so it'll chafe.
Yes. Same thing happens in
Homespun.
Will and Grace a lot. Rosario, they say she is knitting and or crocheting when she is doing one or the other several times.
Well, I mean, she would probably just tell them it was the opposite same thing just to piss them off because that's Rosario.
Well, she clearly can actually do those things. Like the actress actually knows how, because so many times, you know, they're just like wiggling
Pretending.
the needle around like a Gilmore Girls. If you want to see some of that shit, watch that Gilmore Girls knit-a-thon episode because no one fucking knows how to knit in that episode, and like 20 people are
you
doing
know,
it.
you're totally making the case for me to watch this show.
Yep.
And actually, other random TV show where I realized that at least one of them does know how to knit, because knitting comes up fairly often, is Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh, I saw that one as an example.
Yeah, because
I didn't write it down because I haven't watched it ever.
I own all of it on
Nice.
the DVD.
It's good. It's been forever since I've watched it, so I didn't even think of it.
Right, and I didn't think of it until just this moment when you were saying obviously they don't know how to knit, because there's one episode where I cannot remember which one is dressed in drag and knitting, but
Probably
That's
John
awesome.
Cleese.
no, it was not John Cleese.
Wow.
John
I
Cleese
think
is in
it may
drag
have been
so
Eric
much.
Idle.
Yeah.
I think it was Eric, but it was very obviously actually knitting. And there, even in The Meaning of Life, there's knitting by one of them in drag again.
I think
maybe
British
the same
people
one.
just like knit more prevalently than we do here. That's why it's in Harry Potter so much.
Or maybe
And
it's just
Doctor
the
Who.
fact that, you know, people can pick it up without really too much hassle. I mean, it's not a hard thing to learn. And
true.
and it's so this makes me think back to, you know, actors learning how to do certain things for their roles. So like an actor can learn how to knit in order to make it look like they're knitting on set. Easy enough. And this always makes me think back to Master Commander, Far Side of the World. Russell Crowe learned how to play the violin for that fucking role.
Yeah. So my husband is a musician, and it is a big pet peeve of him when people are miming playing an instrument and not actually like the piano. That one gets him. He does not like it. And saxophone, because they're just like la 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 la, wiggling my fingers, doing crazy shits. Like
That's
no,
how
you
you
don't
play the
like
saxophone. Don't let him
you
lie
don't
to you.
move your hands up and down on the saxophone. That's not how that works.
But yeah, so it's just one of those things where it could have been, you know, in several of these cases that we've seen the knitting where it's the actor or actress learned how to knit for the role, which I think is super awesome, and I hope
I
they
would blame the
continue.
director.
In the
for
case
not
of Monty
teaching
Python,
people.
I think it was just he actually just knew, and they wanted to portray this, you know, woman knitting, and so he, you know, got himself in drag and was knitting.
Yeah.
Because I know some actors and actresses, like you said, we'll get into this later, learn handcrafts like that so they could do in between takes, have something to do on set.
Yeah,
But we'll get
have
into
to do
that later. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a future like a distant episode separate of these where we
Oh,
just
absolutely.
like listed stuff. That would be a good one to do.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Movies. I have some movies. Morticia Adams knits.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
In the Addams Family.
Three-legged-
and Addams
three-legged
Family. Yeah, which is really cute. There's a couple Ravelry patterns that approximate what she's knitting if you're interested in that thing. And that would be a really cute baby Halloween costume.
If only
By
one
the
of
way.
us had a baby to put into such sort of costume.
Well,
like
if you
that.
guys knit it, I'll put it in it.
You knit faster than we do,
yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about we just get you the yarn?
How am I supposed to catch up with you guys on these knit-alongs?
You're not.
Yeah.
I get to win one.
Tricking you.
Damn it.
Horror movie with knitting in the Village, which is a terrible movie.
Oh, I fucking hate that
I was
movie.
about to say that's a horror movie? Question mark.
I think
That's how
it
they build. Well,
technically,
that's how they build it.
But
Is
it's
it?
not really.
Absolutely not.
I
No.
think it's supposed to be like suspense because it doesn't
but
seem
they-
like a horror movie.
When
But
they,
they wanted
all the
you to think
previews
it's
and
all
stuff,
about the
they made you think it
monster.
was a horror movie because
Yeah.
I thought it was a horror movie too, when in fact it's just a piece of shit.
It's not. Sigourney Weaver is knitting in that movie, and Joaquin Phoenix is winding her yarn for her.
Good boy.
Yeah, that's all we ever need to say about that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one, not the awful one that shall not be named. Charlie's
like the
grandma
awful
knits
one.
him a what?
I said I like the awful one. You can hate me. It's fine.
No.
More judgy pants.
I like both.
Nope. Charlie's. I like bits of that. I like that the squirrels are
Anyway,
in it.
Charlie's grandmother.
She knits him a scarf for his birthday.
Yes, and it is very sweet.
It is grandma, even though she just lives in a bed and never moves.
She may be bedridden. The doctor may tell her that she can't move, otherwise the aneurysm in her brain is gonna burst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that's not how it
grandpa's in the
happened.
bed the whole time and then just
All four
suddenly
She's
gets
just
up.
fucking lazy.
All four grandparents are in that bed.
I think they're all just fucking
Anyway.
Halloween, actual horror movie. There you go. I'm
Yay.
delivering. Baby Jamie Lee Curtis knits and stabs Mike Myers in the neck with a knitting needle.
I need to rewatch this now.
It happens. it doesn't work. It doesn't kill him, obviously.
Well, of course not.
Nothing kills
Because
him.
they made like 5 bajillion of them later.
And Disney movie, Tangled, Rapunzel knits in the When Will May Life Begin song, where she does every handicraft known to man because she's so bored. She's like painting and baking and doing all sorts of
Reading.
Yeah, reading. She does everything in that. But she knits. Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, yeah.
I think she actually learned to knit in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she
looks
is one
like
of the
she is
actresses.
knitting.
I think she is one of the actresses that did.
Yeah.
There's pictures of knitting in between takes of various films.
Those are all of the movies I had.
Sweet.
That's a pretty exhaustive list.
Yeah.
And that's not
impressed.
even remotely close to all of them. So please write and tell us what we've forgotten.
Yeah, did we miss any good ones?
We forgot probably a lot.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Especially like older movies, because those like Breakfast at Tiffany's was the only older one.
And of course, my brain has been so... The only one I could come up with is Coraline, damn it.
That was a good one. I didn't have that one. I have video games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, video games.
Yeah. So knitting is kind of a popular look for video games in
Kirby's Yarn Adventure.
Yeah, and Little Big Planet that
Yeah.
Sackboy has knit, and there's lots of like yarny looking things. And new thing, Yoshi's Woolly World.
He looks so cute.
He's so cute. So when I was researching this, I found out that there is a Yoshi's Woolly World Yoshi amiibo, which are the little toys to put on your Wii U and then they like go in the game, like Skylanders. And they're usually plastic, but this one is a little knit stuffed animal, and he's so cute.
That's adorable.
I had to buy him. I don't even have a Wii U, but I needed him.
And they had multiple colors, didn't they?
They do. There's a pink and a blue one, and there's one that's big. There's one that's like a foot tall.
Because
Wow.
I need this.
Yes, and then also the 3DS game, which I think I'm going to pick up, comes with, there's a new character, his dog. I didn't write down his name, but there's a new dog character for Yoshi in the 3DS Woolly World game, and the game comes with the dog amiibo.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably pick up the 3DS
And
version.
he's like knitted too.
I need-
I kind
I
of want to
need
get
another-
him and put like him with the Yoshi.
I need another portable game. Although, in an ideal world, my next portable game would be on the Switch, because I would have a Switch. Dreams.
So yeah, he's super cute. And speaking of Nintendo, did you know that Nintendo advertised a knitting machine for a while? It's true. It's a magazine ad that they put in stuff in what I can only imagine was the 80s, based off of the picture. And it was never actually manufactured, but it was a peripheral to plug into your original NES, I think. I don't think it was Super Nintendo. I think it's the NES. And it was like a machine, like a knitting machine, and you could
Interesting.
machine knit sweaters with it. It was being marketed to girls,
Wow.
but they never made it
I wonder why.
because no one would buy that.
Right.
I would buy it now.
I would totally buy that.
Yeah, but like, great. But we're probably the only people.
I don't know. I mean, my grandmother would have bought me that video game. I want this video game. It involves knitting. Here you go.
And then I don't know if you ever played Bubsy for Super Nintendo. It's kind of really obscure, awful game, but I played a ton
and
of it.
honestly, I did not play a lot of Super Nintendo. I now own one, and I'm slowly getting games for it, but I did not own one when it came out. I
Well,
went
if
straight
you
from
can find-
Nintendo to 64.
If you can find Bubsy, I would love to come over and play it. It's just a ridiculous platformer game with this like cat, and there are aliens coming to Earth who are called Woolies, and their mission is to steal all of the yarn on
And
Earth.
how do you spell that game?
Bubsy, Bubsey. So yeah, they're trying to steal yarn, and you collect yarn balls, and they're like these kind of flying saucer yarn ball things, and you like jump on their heads and stuff.
It's kind of interesting.
It's kind of all I got.
Well, this is our call to action for anyone who can think of anything that we missed, which we missed a lot. So please tell us all of the things that you know about that we should know about.
Yeah, we like to learn things. And I'm sure there's stuff that we have seen that we just didn't think of. Like, I didn't think of Bob's Burgers.
And I didn't think of pretty much anything that you said.
And I almost completely left out Monty Python.
Yeah, so we're missing a lot, people. Help us fill the gaps.
Tell us things. Follow us on our social media accounts. They are cool. You can see pictures of us doing things. We are F This Knit on pretty much everything because the internet doesn't like swears. F This Knit Instagram, F This Knit Twitter, Facebook.com/F This Knit. And you can join our Ravelry group, which is Fuck This Knit because Ravelry is great. And you
what's
should
a swear?
Yay! And you should go to our website, fuckthisknit.com, where you can get information on that lovely giveaway we are doing.
And then we all have individual Instagram accounts if
True
you'd like to
facts.
follow us. I am Irish Water Fairy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's you.
You're turning into me.
Am I? Well, sometimes it won't let me. So my name on everything that I can get it is Water Fairy, but when that's not available for some reason, it's Irish Water Fairy. And sometimes I have trouble remembering what I am on what. On Ravelry, I'm Water Fairy. On Instagram, I'm Irish Water Fairy. Haha.
I'm Kitty with a cupcake on all the things.
And I am Brews and Use. That's not the
Bruised
like-
and used.
Yeah, brews like beers and use like lady sheep.
Yeah, like I guess I originally wanted Beer and Sheep, but wasn't available, so I had to go with Brews and Use. Plus, it just sounds better.
It does.
It does sound good.
And then on Ravelry, I'm Rue Rocker, and on Twitter,
Rocker 33.
yeah, it's because 33 is my number. And then on Twitter, I am Zarek33.
See, I think
Gotta
I'm
get
Irish
some
Water Fairy on
branding
Twitter
going
as
on,
well.
girl. You got too many different things.
Well, sorry, they all came at different times in my life. Okay.
I'm just
Yeah, I
it's my
think-
job, so
I think I'm Irish Water Fairy on Twitter as well, but I don't ever.
You're never on Twitter.
No.
I never go on Twitter. Don't try and find my Twitter.
I
It
am
won't
the
be useful to
Twitter.
you.
Yeah, you're the Twitter.
I am
of
the
group.
Twitter.
Does that mean you're the twit?
I'm the twat.
Even better. No,
Past tense.
I do, in fact, love me some Instagram, though.
I loves the Instagram. There's another Instagram challenge for this month that I saw Aaron is partaking in. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I think I might just casually do a couple
I
of them.
skipped March because March was just like a weekly thing. Mm-hmm. And I missed the tail end of February. So yeah, I decided I'm going to do the Yarn Love Challenge for April as much as I can. Because fuck it. Why not?
Well, unfortunately, right now, my Instagram has been pretty much just me running and all the runs because I'm training for the half marathon at the end of this month.
Sucker.
Oh my god, so many miles.
One day I will run
You
this
can tell
thing.
us how that goes.
Yeah,
next time,
I
because
will
you'll have
tell
done
you.
it.
Yeah, and it will probably be just a few days after the run, and I'll be sitting in front of this mic again, going, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing! I should totally do that again next year."
Mm-hmm.
At which point I will probably, be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it with you next year. Because I keep saying I'm going to
I
do it
won't
with
say
her 1
that.
year.
I won't kid myself.
I mean,
Oh no, one
it's
of these
hard.
days, but I always have problems getting into a training schedule, and then somehow some life thing happens and gets in my way. And I'm
Yep.
like, well, fuck that idea. I will die if I try to do a half marathon right now.
I will say though that the Through the Zoo, it's 5K.
Oh, that's
Through the
I could
Zoo.
do a 5K.
And it's on May 13th
Oh, not that soon. I can't do a 5K.
because, yeah, Alex and I already signed up for it because it's awesome. I love that race. It is so much fun. And you get to go through the zoo, just gallivanting through the zoo. Da-da-da-da-da.
I could walk that.
Yeah, and there's plenty of walkers that do it too.
Then I could do it.
Yeah,
Definitely walk that.
and it's a lot of fun, and it just so happens to be near my birthday, and so I typically do it as my birthday gift to me. And then
My birthday gift to you is going to come at Kentucky Sheep and Wool.
Kentucky Sheep and Wool, which is a couple weeks after that, the
Yes.
following week.
It's
Yeah.
March 20th and 21st. May. March happened already. Never mind.
Beer's getting to you.
Beers. No, May 20th and 21st.
Yeah, it is the following weekend after.
Yes, so we
Yeah,
have
'cause
one
so it
more
goes-
regular episode. That will be our May episode. And then we will be talking about Kentucky Sheep and Wool for our June episode.
Fuck yeah, we will.
All the things.
Oh my god. I need to do my taxes.
So if you don't like our stash enhancement section, maybe don't listen to that episode.
June. Welcome to June, our stash enhancement month. Brought to you by Kentucky Sheep and Wool.
Yeah, and I think we're going to record that like right after it so that it's all like fresh in our minds. And
Fresh in the
stuff.
brain.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything
Insane
else
in the
important
membrane.
to say?
No.
Let's eat some cupcakes.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
eat some fucking
yeah.
cupcakes.
Fuck yeah.
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 All right.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it!
Fuck this snitch.